Greetings and welcome to Toyli's production gameplay video of Star Wars The Old Republic. In this video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to create a new character and also be explaining the different choices that you may be faced with and decisions that you may be faced with depending on what type of character you want to create, what type of role you want to play, and also the overall look and aesthetic of the character. So, one thing you would note is that there's no sound in the background playing because I don't want that to interfere with me talking and explaining things. And the other thing that you would notice is that I have a multiple amount of characters. On the server, I have 31 of them. And a lot of them are at max level, but some of them I've been playing around. You know, I tended to create new characters, play every single class, every single role, and change the way the story is played, like choosing light side options for the dark side and choosing the dark side option for the light side. And as I mentioned in my very first video on Star Wars, definitely go ahead and create a character on the Republic side and do dark side options, and or create a character on the Sith side or the Imperial side and do all dark side option, and it changes the story so drastically. Like, for instance, if you're playing on the Republic and then you start doing bad choices, people start hating you, and they'll act differently towards you. They'll be more afraid of you, and it's just so awesome in that in that way that you can just change the story in so many different ways. So yeah, that's just something to take note of. So anyway, getting back to this video, we're going to go ahead and create a first character. Or at least for you guys, first character. For me, it's just another one of the characters that I may never use again. Anyway, you will be faced with different options depending on whether or not you're a subscriber. As a subscriber, you will get one free level boost token. So you can either use the token for either Knights of the Fallen Empire or Onslaught. Now, what people tend to do is that they keep the level boost and, don't use it just yet. They'll, especially if you're starting the game, the very first time you haven't played the game, you want to get the full Star Wars experience. And the only way for you to get that properly is by playing Star Wars The Old Republic, the bottom one right here. So you go ahead and click that button. But one thing I want to explain about the level boost token is that if you do find a need for it, it's usually or should only be at a point in time where you are accepted into a guild, which I highly recommend you definitely go ahead and get into a guild, because not only does it help for meeting new people, but it also helps you in terms of XP, and you basically get a boost just for being part of a guild. And you can also post in the guild chat, and if anybody else is interested in joining you, they will reply, and then you both can go ahead and play the game. So that's the only time that you should actually play or use the level boost, is when you're in a guild and you're ready to raid and go into operations. The only way for you to go into operations is that you'll need a high level character. And if you just started and you don't have a fully max level character, or at least a high level character, then that's the point where you should actually use the level boost token. So that's just a side note. I'm hoping that you guys don't make the same mistake as I did. And as soon as I got my level boost token, I used it immediately. Didn't even know what the heck it was for. Fortunately for me, I did play the base game, but the thing is, I just wasted that token for nothing. So anyway, you're gonna go ahead and click on the create character button right there at the bottom. So the next step would be you choose your allegiance. Now this is the good and bad choices now that you can make, or at least the good and bad side. So you got the Galactic Republic, which is the good side supposedly, and then you got the Sith Empire, which is the bad side. But depending on your look or your perspective, the Sith could be the good side and the Republic could be the bad side. I mean, for me and my guild, Sith all the way. So anyway, so we're just going to use the Galactic Republic because I know most of you guys will be choosing this one here, specifically because if you're a Star Wars fan and you love the Jedis and those kind of things and lightsabers, fair enough, you do have an option to use lightsabers on the dark side as well. But I know for myself included, we did choose the Republic side as the first character that we ever created. So we're going to go ahead and click on that. But also, it's an exact mirror image of each other. So I'm just going to do this really quickly. So if you have a look at this, Jedi Knight, you have the option of a Jedi Guardian or a Jedi Sentinel. Jedi Guardian uses one lightsaber, Jedi Sentinel uses two lightsabers. And if we go back, and let's go ahead and do the dark side, and you'll be faced with almost the exact mirror image of each other. The difference is that they look a bit different. You have a different choice in terms of species that you could possibly use, or as you know, like your base of your character. But the powers is kind of similar. Fair enough, the GUI or the graphics may look a bit different whenever they're using the power, but it more or less does the exact same thing. So if you, like for instance, chose a Jedi Knight and you choose Jedi Guardian, then the mirror image of that would be the Sith Juggernaut. And if you chose a Sentinel, the one with two lightsabers, then the mirror image of that would be the Marauder. So there's like, it's basically you play one class on the Republic side, you can go and play the exact same class on the other side, on the Sith side, and still know how the character works. So that's just a side note as well. So we're going to go ahead, choose the Republic side, then you got your choices of class. Now, Jedi Knights are the ones that basically wield lightsabers as well as the counselors, but they are more of the hands-on approach people. They are the ones in the front lines using lightsabers to cut down enemies, and some of them, depending on the roles, will either be like a tank, a DPS, or healers. But of course, Jedi Knight, you don't really have a healer. As a Jedi Knight, if you choose a Guardian, you only can choose between a tank or a DPS. However, if you choose a Sentinel, you can only DPS. So that's like a difference you need to do. So I'm going to be going over each of them, and I'll be explaining some of the options that you could choose from them and what roles those characters or those classes will actually have. So starting off with the Jedi Knight, you have a Jedi Guardian. Jedi Guardian wields one lightsaber. They are quite tanky, irrespective of whether or not they are the tank or DPS. They use really high-end gear and really strong defense gear. So those are like heavy gear, as they would call them. You got the heavy gear, medium, and you got the light armor gear. And the Jedi Guardian uses the heavy armor. Also, the type of roles that you could play with the Jedi Guardian is either a tank, as mentioned before, or a DPS. Then you have the Jedi Sentinel. Jedi Sentinel, however, they can only use medium to light. So when I do say medium, I also mean everything else below it. So if I say the heavy one, then that means also medium and light. If I say medium, then only light and medium. And if I say light, then it's only the light armor. There is another kind of armor which is called adaptive, and that basically you can just take out armor pieces and mods from there and replace it for either you can purchase it or you can find it in one of those boxes or while you're playing the game, and the game will then decide whether or not it's a light or heavy or medium armor. So yeah, that's about it for this one. And as I mentioned, Sentinels are only DPS classes. Then you got Jedi Counselors. These guys can only use... no, actually, I'm wrong with that. They tend to use the Force quite often and much more than the Jedi Knight. So as a Jedi Counselor, you can actually choose between the Jedi Sage or the Jedi Shadow. Now, the Jedi Sage, they are usually the lower armor tier, so the light armor they can use in or when using armor. Also, they use one lightsaber, but tend to use the Force more than the lightsaber itself. And their roles, they can either be a DPS role or they can be a healer role. I haven't actually played, I've tried playing as a healer with a Sage. Some people find it easy. I kind of don't enjoy it because it's like, it's simple stuff, and it's, I guess the look of doing certain abilities, it's got no oomph to it. So I really don't play a Jedi Sage healer, but as a DPS, it's a really good DPS, especially if you're playing the telekinetic one where you're sending out force waves towards your enemy, and it shows like these huge force balls that just strike the enemy. That's really awesome. Then anyway, the next one is the Jedi Shadow. Jedi Shadows can use heavy because of the fact that Actually, I'm not too sure about that. I guess equipment. Let's have a look at this one. Shadows required equipment and provided both balance, light cloth and robes. Okay, they're not saying what armor type it is. Anyway, maybe when we're creating another character, we'll go ahead and check that out. But the roles that you can actually get with a Jedi Shadow is either a tank or alternatively a DPS. And the Shadows is kind of like the opposite or mirror class to the Shadow is the Assassin on the Imperial or the Sith side. And as it kind of states, the assassin. And one of the abilities that you can use as a shadow and as an assassin is that you could go invisible. Using the force, nobody can see you, and that is pretty helpful, especially in PvP. So if you guys are going ahead and doing something like that, and you like that kind of, a power or ability, that's the class for you. Anyway, next step is the smuggler. The smuggler has two classes as well. All of them has two classes, and in that you've got subclasses, which is three of them, and you have to choose based on like what role you want to go for. So smuggler has a gunslinger. This gunslinger is only a DPS class, and they wield two blasters. So gunslinger, guns. It's a different. So anyway, yeah, they can only be a DPS class. They use light armor, I think, as well as medium. I haven't played Gunslinger that often. It's a class that I've never actually had a chance to play. I really didn't want to. I have played the Mura one, which is the sniper in the Sith side, and that's pretty awesome. You got a sniper rifle, and you use kind of the same abilities, only thing with one gun instead of two. Then you get the Scoundrel. Now the Scoundrel has one gun, and you have a choice of either a DPS or a healer. The healing tends to use a lot of tech abilities, so you're going to use like there's like a data pad kind of thing, and you activate certain abilities, and it tends to heal people. As a DPS, there is one class, I think it's called a Ruffian, where you actually use like your fists as well. So you can go up to a boss or up to an enemy and start punching them. So that's pretty cool. And yeah, that's about it for those ones. Then you have the Trooper. Now the Trooper, you have a Commando. A Commando is they use like this giant gun. So as you can see with this character in the back over there, and those guns tend to like provide really good assault on enemies. So you've got either a DPS role or a healer role that you can choose. And on the Republic side, this is my best class. I love this class for healing. It's absolutely amazing. I've been playing hard mode content. I've been playing some nightmare content. We haven't went really far in nightmares. Kind of when we were getting into the point where we go to nightmare, then eventually things happened, and slowly but surely people started leaving. So anyway, we'll touch up on that as another point. Then you have a Vanguard. A Vanguard is they use like a blaster on their hand, and they can actually tank or DPS as well. People tend to use the Vanguard quite often as a tank, and they are very, very tanky, I must say. They have the abilities that can actually help other players as well as yourself whenever you are tanking. So for instance, they have this ability where it sends out like a blast, which any of your allies that's around you, it puts like a shield around them that absorbs a certain amount of damage for a certain amount of time, and that's pretty helpful. Although the Jedi Knight also has it, but I mean it's not as good as the Vanguard. But of course, like with every single patch that they're making changes to the classes, sometimes the Vanguard will end up being the best tank. Sometimes the Jedi Guardian would be, and I remember for quite a long time the Jedi Shadow or the Sith Assassin were the best tanks in the game when it came to raiding in Nightmare, because there was a certain ability, if you had this utility that was also active, that will mitigate every single amount of damage that comes through, irrespective of how much of damage it is. So that was totally OP and broken. So therefore the Shadow was the best, but now they patched it and now it's not that good anymore. Still good, but not as good. So anyway, the same thing will apply on the other side. And of course, I might just go ahead and do it as well on the other side. I'll just show you guys. Let's go ahead and choose the next step, which is your species. Now the species, if you have a look over here, you'll see there is a lock that's under each of these different species. So all the ones that have the lock for me, it's unlocked because of the fact that I've been playing the game for quite some time. I did purchase some of them, like for instance the Togruta. I did purchase that one, and the Cathar. Those are the only two that I actually purchased. The others that were unlocked was unlocked through, I think it's an achievement that you have as part of your legacy. And as you progress in the game, you will start unlocking it and they'll be available for your next character creation. So you got a whole bunch of them. You got a human, you've got a Zabrak, which is kind of like how Darth Maul is. Only difference is that this is for the good side of the Force. The actual one is the Zabrak with red skin that Darth Maul is. So that will only be used in the dark side or the Sith side of the Force. So that's because I have unlocked it as part of the legacy, and you can see the symbol at the bottom. I can actually use it on the Republic side as well. So that's good in role plays, especially like, you know, if you want to role play as a double agent. So you could go as a pure Sith blood, which is usually only for the dark side of the Force. And what you can do is that you can come to the Republic side as a pure Sith, and you can roleplay as, you know, you a double agent, you actually trying to infiltrate the Jedi Order or something like that. So that's pretty cool. So anyway, you have the different choices. Then you have a cyborg, you have a Mirialan, you have a Chiss, you got Cathar, Togruta, Ratataki. These guys use a lot of jewelry. You got a Sith, you've got a Twi'lek, Zabrak, as I mentioned before, Maroluka. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it properly. And lastly, the Nautolan. This is the one that was released quite recently, and a lot of people wanted it. However, I feel in the movies they were really awesome. They looked really nice, but in the game over here, I haven't found a way to actually create a character that really looks nice with this species. So anyway, we're just going to go for the basic one because this is the one that's going to be available for a free-to-play player or preferred player whenever they're creating a character. And yeah, these are the three choices that you will get immediately. So yeah, that's about it for that. Then obviously we're going to choose the human. Then you got your gender. Now gender is obviously just two ways, male or female, and you can choose whichever one you want. Choose male, and then of course you've got your appearance now. So you can change your appearance to however you want it. So you got a different body type. So you got a body type that you can either look like really tiny, a little bit taller, then really tall and muscular, or a chubby guy. Then you got your head. So the head is basically going to make your character look a bit better, kind of. Unfortunately, there's no like proper customization in this, so you just got presets, and you're going to have to choose from the presets. So you're just going to choose something.
I'm in.
So we've got like, let's go ahead and choose this one. Then you got scars. So based on whatever you feel is good for you, you've got different scars. So like let's choose this one here. Like he went up against he went up against a Sith, and the Sith slashed him with a lightsaber, but he survived. So anyway, yeah, you can choose that. Complexion, of course, is purely based on you, how you want your character to look like. So this is like a default character that I would actually create. Yeah, I'd create him like that. Eye color now. Eye color, if you have a look at this extra section over here, it's like a brighter blue. Now, those are additional stuff that you can purchase on the cartel market. And once you do purchase it and apply it to your account, it will then appear for your next customer, your next character creation page. So you can also customize your character in-game, like a currently existing character. There is a customization station. You just go and click on it. Unfortunately, you have to use cartel coins in order for you to change the look of your character. So we're going to go ahead and change the eye. Gonna have that. Beards. So obviously if you want to have beard, you can go ahead and choose that. We're going to go ahead and not have any beard. Then tattoos, if you want. So I'm not really a fan of tattoos, so I won't really have a tattoo that much. But anyway, hair. Hair is also quite important. So you have presets. So these are like the presets that you can have. Everyone will be able to access those. Um, this is a pretty nice one, especially clean cut look. This is also a pretty good one, especially for like.
For the Republic.
See, doesn't look wicked. I actually want to use that one. Then you've got this different ones over here, but messy. It's a bit more slick back hairstyle, longer hair. This one was also a pretty good one.
I'm a soldier. I'll get the job done.
It'll look a bit like Elvis Presley. Then, yeah, but we're gonna go ahead and keep the mohawk.
For the Republic.
There we go. Doesn't that look good? So anyway, then you got your hair color. You can choose your hair color based on whether you want it to look like your character, like you itself, or you could go like real crazy, and you can go for like a full black, or you can go for white. How about that?
See how Havoc Squad gets
Check
things
that
done.
out. Looks like he got a flower on top of his head.
Now you'll see how Havoc Squad gets things done.
Yeah, we can let's try this black here. And then skin color. Now this is more of preference based kind of thing. So you can go like a really dark character, or you can go really bright, like a really fair and pale character, or alternatively, you can go for a bit of a tan look.
As a soldier of the Republic, it's my duty to help.
So yeah, that's your character creation page. And then obviously at this point in time, you're going to go ahead and create a name. The name is one of the most annoying parts of it because it takes you forever to create a name, because all the awesome ones are probably taken already. So you're going to have to make like, a name that is either a mixture of two different names or something like that. But the good thing is that now they released it was quite a while ago that they released a patch that allowed you to have a space in between the name. So you can have like a name and a main name, and then you get like a maiden name kind of thing, like or like a middle name. So you can have like Mara Jade or Jason William or something like that. But obviously these names are going to be taken. So this is the one that you're going to go and have a really hard time finding, because a lot of the good ones have been taken, especially when dealing with Star Wars lore. Even if you click on random too, most of the random ones are also taken, so it's kind of stupid. But anyway, we're gonna go back, and I'm just gonna give you a brief description on the Sith side, and then we're gonna go ahead and end the video. So once you actually create your character on whichever side that you want, you then click on the finish option, and then the game starts for you. And we're going to go and do another video on that. We're going to create a character, we're going to start playing with that character, and we're going to do a story gameplay series on that character. So you guys can look out for that one. So anyway, Sith Marauder, that's like the Sentinel on the Republic side, 2 lightsabers, only DPS class. Sith Juggernaut, 1 lightsaber, can either be a tank or a DPS. The Sith Inquisitor, you got the Sorcerer, which is exactly the same as the Sage on the Republic side. So you use a lot of force powers. However, where you use telekinetic power and like force wave on the Republic side, on this side, the Sith side, you use lightning as one of your main force abilities, and that's really awesome. I love the lightning abilities. Then you get the Sith Assassin, which is exactly the same as the Shadow, and you can either tank or DPS on it. Did I mention Sith Sorcerers only DPS? Yeah, well, anyway, now then you got the Bounty Hunter, which is the mirror image of the I think it's the, oh my god, Troopers. Yes, that's it, Troopers. So you got the Power Tech, which uses 1 gun and can either be a tank or DPS. You got the Mercenary, which is the one that I love. It's the opposite to the Commando, and it uses 2 guns, and it can either DPS or heal. Now, one thing you would notice is that although they use these guns that you can have on the sides, 2 of them or 1 of them, it would seem as if it is the counterpart to the smugglers. So the either the, like for instance, the mercenary would kind of look like the gunslinger alternative, but it's not. So just be careful on that. And then you got the imperial agent. You got the operative, which is the counterpart to, I think it is, I can't remember which one it is. I think it's a smuggler. No, it's a scoundrel. Sorry, my bad. And that can either heal or DPS. And then lastly, you have the sniper, which is the counterpart to the gunslinger on the Republic side. So that's part of the smuggler section, and that can only DPS. And this is really cool because you got like a sniper rifle on the back. So anyway, you're obviously going to choose, whatever you want, whatever character it is. And once you have your name and how your character will look like, you click on the play button and it immediately launches through. So that's it for this guide, which is dealing with the character creation and explanation of the different classes, the roles you could have with it, and I hope it's informative. As always, if you guys need more help, put it in the comment section. I'll help you out as soon as I can. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.